Happy December, everybody. Let's look at some more trading strategies. Today, we're looking at XRP, kind of the hot topic of the recent cycle, and it has really popped off here recently. If you are not a part of the Bumper Bands Discord or trading community and want to get the indicators, there is a link in the description below to the Patreon where you can join and get these indicators. There's also a service called the SKX that allows you to automate trades for you as you build strategies, or if you want to copy strategies and make them your own. Whatever your trading needs are, again, link in the description below, and can get you all set up to go. But let's look at XRP. Okay, so this coin has gone basically sideways like a stable coin for the last few years. I used to hold some XRP and actually did have a bit in my bags left that I recently sold. Not trying to anger anyone, but I only buy coins so I can sell them, except for Bitcoin, which I will always hold some Bitcoin. Everything else to me is just a means to trade. So let's look at the strategy that I have just built. I'm not going to release this yet. I'm going to watch it a little bit because it has been something I've slowly been developing for the past few months, but I need to see it make some more trades before I actually put it out there. Also, I think that XRP could have a bit more of a pullback and is getting toppy. And you can see anytime a strategy takes a huge run to the upside like that, or an asset takes a huge run to the upside, there's massive to be some big pullbacks, especially if you're XRP and your general chart, anytime there's a spike to the upside, there's general sell-offs after it. So will this time be different? Who knows? I am not persuaded either way, so I'm just going to be watching this. But I do think it could be something that has some legs on it, because even during the periods of the market where XRP just kind of went sideways, the strategy did make some good profits. So yeah, we'll keep an eye out for this. If you are also interested in another trading tool, there is a tool called the Quant Wave bands that I just partnered with Agent Smith and Eric Crown on, and re-release those. So if you are interested in those, a lot of the strategies I have on my Discord, but there are a few exclusive ones just for the Quant Wave program. That is a little bit cheaper service. It has less strategies and less functionality than the SKX and the Bumper Bands, but it is a little bit more built for people that are maybe a bit newer to trading and just want something really simple, straightforward, and profitable. Again, not financial advice. I can't promise it will always be profitable, but I've been personally running several of the strategies for quite a long time, and they've been very profitable for me in most all market periods. So you're just going to have to, if you want to try them out for yourself, you're going to have to, take that risk on yourself. But it is something I wanted to at least get into people's hands and kind of get going. All right. So the thing I really wanted to look at today would be how do I decide what strategies to trade? Now, this has been a question I've gotten a lot in personal DMs. I've also seen it on Discord a few times. But yeah, everybody only has a certain amount of capital to trade and wants to make the most of that capital. So I kind of put together a bullet point list of the things that I think about in my psychology behind what I choose to trade. None of this is financial advice. This is my philosophies. Feel free to make your own, but these might be some tools that you can use to build an idea. The first thing that's so important is general psychology, understanding the market conditions. What are market conditions? And why I say the comment about psychology is you will be blind to what the market conditions are if your psychology needs the market conditions to be a certain way. For example, I had this experience in the past where I bought coins far into the bull market because I was late to the party and I was holding them near the top because I needed them. I need things to go higher to be in profit. Or maybe I had held them and I had a couple X on them, but I wanted them to go to 10X. And so I was unwilling to sell them. And so when things started to pull back, I didn't want to sell them at a loss. So I was in denial that it was even a bear market until the bottom of the bear market. This happens so often. And if you're not in the proper headspace, you're not going to be trading the right kind of strategies because you're going to need it to be. You're going to be at a loss. You're going to need the market conditions to match what you want them to do, not what they actually are. So, for example, this cycle, I've slowly been selling all of my leverage positions are basically sold. I have a little bit of leverage on Bitcoin and Solana as just buy and holds, and those I'm planning to be selling by January. I've sold 10% of my Bitcoin holdings, and I will probably in January sell another 10%, maybe even 15, 20, and by February, March, April, kind of depends on what I see. I will be out at least 50%. That way, if it does go into a bear market, I'm not needing it to be a bull market still, and I can find it easy to change my psychology and start trading short strategies and getting in position for the bear market. So that's the first thing I think about and prepare myself psychologically for. The second thing I look at is it time to be trading a top 10? I say top 10. I really only trade a couple. So I trade Bitcoin, and this cycle has been Solana. Whatever the last cycle, it was ETH. Whatever the coin of the cycle is, I'm generally trading those two coins for most of it. And then when it's kind of starts getting to be alt season, which it looks like there's at least a bit of alt season going on right now, I will cycle some of that into altcoins. So I had 3 Bitcoin strategies and 2 Solana strategies going for the past 6, 7, 8 months, some of them longer than that. And now I'm changing several of those Bitcoin strategies to be trading altcoins. So that way I'm putting my capital to the best use, because we only have so much capital to use, and we can't spread that out across, 20 different strategies. I would say 10 for me is even too many. I try to stick with 5, and you want to find generally your best bets for what that could look like. Another thing that's important to choose is the right kind of alts, because there's alts like XRP, for example, just went on a massive run. Is that generally a bullish alt, or is it going to be one that just makes a spike to the upside and then sells off? So I try to sell alts that, going to the next point, that have general overall good chart strength. All right, so here is an example of a chart or an altcoin that does not have a good chart strength. Since the inception of this coin, every spike to the upside has been a major sell-off point. Another spike to the upside here, sell-off, slow down, spike to the upside. So this would be a chart that I would only choose to short. If I had a good short strategy that could run on this, it's a random shitcoin I chose. Yeah, so this would be, there's plenty of others out there. If you're wanting to find some coins to short, you can find your own, but this will not be one that I ever personally choose to long. One that would be great, and I am choosing to trade right now, would be actually this better chart. Super. Okay, so this one has the full history right here. You can see that there was a period of time where this was looking like that. The last chart we looked at, where it was some major spike to the upsides and then just down. Though this one did find a bottom, and you can see that it really, once it found that bottom, it really pretty much held that. I guess it slightly broke below it back here, but I would not have chosen to long this chart until recently. I saw it make some highs, and then now it's even making, on the 2-day time frame, it's making a higher high. The jewel is positioned to the upside. This is my general chart that I look at when I'm trying to find the strength of different coins and decide to trade it or not trade it. So super, incredibly promising right now. Again, I guess it could close a 2-day below that, and then it might be, back down, and I might turn the strategy off. I personally have seen enough strength in it that I will probably let this trade at least until January or February. But I'm generally just kind of watching. Once every month, I'll kind of go through the charts that I'm trading and make sure they're looking healthy. And this is a good way to kind of keep your headspace clear and make good decisions on what coin you're choosing to long. So again, in the Discord, I have some super strategies for trading super long, and I am currently choosing to trade it. Everything's positioned to the upside, looking really strong. Overall chart strength. Am I going long? Am I going short? Is it a chart that's meant to go long or short on because it has strength one way or the other? The other would be net per trades, including the fees that you need to have. So some people have 0.1% fees on their trades. So you just need to make sure that the strategy you are trading can handle high fees. And I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. Like you can in the strategy itself. Let's jump to what's a 5? This is a 5-minute, so this one can't really handle super high fees. If you put 0.1, it's gonna make that be really, really bad. I would be aware of that. There's lots of other strategies here that can handle really high fees. Where's the 2-hour? This 2-hour can handle, real high fees and be great. Speaking of 2-hour, just won a trade. It's been in that trade for a little while. But yeah, so these are all, we'll go through some of these really quickly at the end. But that's kind of example of the fees. And then drawdown and volatility. You know what? I kind of want to go back to the XRP one to show this. Speaking of volatility. So you want to make sure that your leverage and you're aware of the risk, because when you go to list of trades, you can see the drawdown, especially recently, has been nuts. So 7% drawdown. Now you can put a limit stop loss so that it won't take huge, as big of drawdowns, but it will probably lose more trades. That's a trade-off. If you're trading at high leverage and want to have limit stop losses, I always recommend limit stop losses. But if you don't have a limit stop loss, and some of my strategies don't, there can be huge drawdowns. Now this trade closed at negative 2.46%, but the drawdown of that single trade was 11%. So that means if you're trading at 10x leverage, your account's liquidated just like that, completely gone. And if it had taken a loss at 11% and you're trading even at 4x leverage, that's a 40%. So it's just really, and you can see there's a lot of these trades, again, because XRP has been really volatile lately, that have 9, 10, 11% drawdowns in them. So it's real important to understand with the leverage you're using, the drawdown, like going through the strategy you're trading and making sure that it's has limit stop losses that will not get your account liquidated if it takes some big volatile moves. Okay. Yeah, not the point to take that point home, but even here, like that's a 20%. That is a 20% move in one candle. If you would have chosen the high to the low of just this Tuesday. So that's absolutely nuts. All right, back to it. The last thing I look at is not more so not to look at, but the last thing that I think about is consistency. Thinking long term, not getting caught up in the moment. And again, it goes into psychology, because if you are trading at too high of leverage or trading too much capital and you are getting stressed out about your trades, you will have a really hard time finding consistency. The way that I think about it is if something doesn't go majorly wrong and I have a bad day because a trade lost, I'm trading too much. All right. So for example, if there can be kind of sideline scenarios where something doesn't trigger right and you take a big loss and then you have a bad day because of that, that's a different story because something went wrong and you're having a bad day. If in general your trades are happening as they're supposed to happen, but you have a bad day because you took a loss, that means you're trading too much or at too high of leverage. So you should be 100% comfortable with every loss that you take if you're trading according to your strategy, because you understand the strategy and you understand that those losses can and will happen. At any point, any great strategy will have some. I'm trying to find one here that recently took some losses. Is this Solana? Yes. This one did have some. Yeah. Okay. So list of trades here. Let me find a recent loss. Actually. Okay. So for example, a 3% loss if you're trading at 5x leverage, that's 15% drawdown in your account. If you experience a 15% drawdown in your account and are really stressed out that day, really mad, having a bad day, again, it's because you're trading too much. If you're trading at low enough leverage, shouldn't be a big deal. And we are all supposed to be thinking in years, not months or days of trading. So think long term, don't rush. And what I mean by this is when you are taking these into consideration, altcoin season, bull versus bear, long versus short, don't rush in a day-to-day or even week-to-week, but also don't ignore the signs. Okay, so this is why it's important for me to slowly transition. I'm slowly selling my positions. In January, I will slowly be trading more shorts than longs and seeing how they do until I'm trading 50-50 shorts versus longs. And then If it looks like the market is showing weakness, I'll transition into more shorts. But I'm just kind of slowly making decisions. Sometimes I'll make the wrong decision, then I'll go back. So if January I start trading some shorts, mid-January, and there it does not look like any signs of pullback is happening, and the market showing incredible strength, then I'll maybe scale back into more longs and keep at longs. But I'm just every choice I make, I think about for a few days or a few weeks, and then I make the choice. Again, it's just about having a general plan. Okay, so this is the things I think about when it comes to certain, like whether you trade Popcat versus Sol. This one needs refreshed here. Versus Injective. There's 100 reasons to trade or not to trade any. Like you can say Popcat looks like it's kind of toppy and might be taking some losses. However, in December already, it's already up 6%. It's really, you have to decide to trade what you're going to trade and stick with that decision. Okay, that's a general idea. I guess we'll look at a couple strategies here at the end real fast. This is getting real long, but this is for people that are interested and kind of wanting to keep up on things. This is a gold strategy I built a while ago. It took some major hits and is recovering nicely. It's a 30-minute gold strategy for people that are interested in that. There's also a 15-minute, I believe, on the Discord. Meta, I'm going to refresh that. Weird. It freaked out. Let's look at Tesla. These are a couple stocks that, again, have been performing pretty well. For anyone interested in stocks, Meta's just not going to refresh. That's fine. I have a 30-minute and I think a 15-minute in-queue strat here. Also been doing well. I mean, everything's been doing pretty well because the market, all the long strategies have been doing pretty well because the market's going up and to the right. So here is a short strategy, though, an hour short strategy I've been trading that is also doing pretty decently. Last month took some losses, but in general is trending up and to the right. So this is one of my hedge strategies that I'm trading a short even in a bull market. This is the Bitcoin. Oh man, looks like Bitcoin just went on major run here. Hey, let's go. Let's see if it hits 100K here pretty soon. It looks like actually this is a pretty strong move. So if it doesn't have a pullback from here pretty soon, it's going on. That's crazy. The strategy just hit a win, but it is one that is part of the quant wave bands. And there's just a few adjustments. So if you want to trade it just like it's traded on the quant wave bands, just put the BBWP at 30, and then I believe the stop loss and take profit are should be both at 5 with a limit stop loss. So if you want to trade it exactly like that, it'll take the drawdown a good bit. It'll make the drawdown less a good bit. You can see here when it refreshes. But yeah, so this is one that's part of the quant wave. There's also, like I said, a couple others that are part of the quant wave that are not available on the band's Discord, but there are plenty of other incredible strategies. So yeah, the drawdown now is at 4%, which is just nuts. And this is since beginning of 2022. You can see only 2 months were net negative, and they were just so small. So I don't want to get ahead of myself, but the strategy is performing really well, and I've been trading and expect it to continue. Maybe have pull downs or drawback here and there, but all right, let's keep going. Solana, we already looked at that. Injective, this is a new one that I just posted. Injective 5-minute strategy. Been doing great. Injective generally has been on a good run. One of my coins I've chosen to trade personally. We already looked at this, and I don't want to say this, but okay, it's 2 hour. Looked at that. This is another. Is it a short? Oh no. This is okay. This is a Bitcoin versus or Solana versus Bitcoin. I have not been trading this because I'm trying to figure out a way to do it. Actually, I might do it on my unified trading account on Bybit. But basically, I will probably hold Bitcoin and let's see, would this be? I guess this is going long Solana. So yeah, I can hold Bitcoin and choose to go long Solana. I also have a short, the same exact one, except for it's a short. And yeah, you can choose to go long versus short. So hold Bitcoin, go long Solana every once in a while. And it has taken a few losses here and there, but month over month generally been net positive. So that's kind of an interesting thing I might start doing is trading the top altcoin versus Bitcoin so that you can hold Bitcoin in a unified trading account as collateral and then trade into USDT versus Solana or whatever the alt is. I'm still developing this idea. I have to actually trade it to see how well it works and make sure that with fees and all that, it's viable. But something interesting that is posted in the Discord if anyone wants to look at it. And lastly, the PopCap 15-minute doing really well here. Obviously, some chop drawdown is very high, but I'm only trading this at 3 leverage, maybe even 2, just to kind of make some degen gains. All right, that's it for today. If you have any other questions, let me know in the Discord or the comments below. Thanks for sticking with me through this video, and I'll see you guys next time.